Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. Today is 6 October. This is day 37 of the YouTube channel covering events for 5 October 2022. In the morning, I took Becky to school. I had 45 minutes of exercise, including a 3-minute jog. I went to the gym. I just did the chair um, massage because I really wasn't feeling well. Um, I did the exercise before at home, so I didn't want to do any walking. I just, just to be true to the plan, gym, suit up, and then I went to a massage chair, and then I was done for the day as far as exercise. I might even do the same thing today. I'm not all there. The whole goal is just to go to the gym. I do the exercise basically at home, but whatever I do at the gym is a bonus, but it's putting me consistently at the gym. That's the main thing. So another reason I wanted to get home is I had a doctor's appointment online. I wanted to be on time for that, and that went well. In the afternoon, I had a insurance company interview. This insurance company sells the Affordable Care Plan, the ACA, U65. So it may be something that I can do. I won't get into it, but I had really messed myself over with insurance when it comes to healthcare plans because I had contracted with several different companies and trying to find the right company to join. And once you do like settle in on a company, um, it's hard to make a change. And you can't really make a change during the open enrollment period, which is now, which is the end of the year. So all changes have to be made at the beginning of the year, and then you have to give them notice. And it's a lot of work. And every one of those companies, every one of those carriers that that each company may represent. So if I join a new company, they might have 10 different carriers. Each of those carriers has a completely different process to get released. So it's been a nightmare. It's like trying, to get released from one company and to go to another company. And sometimes even if the company agrees to release you, you can't get released because of the timing. So I'm really interested in this new company. The reason I'm interested in it is that I'm in a receive mode. I'm answering the phone. I'm not buying leads. I'm in the receive mode, and I get a commission for closing the sale. So these people are already interested when they're connected with me, and I basically follow up with their questions, and then I close the sale. I like that. Um, if you're watching this and you're interested in insurance, let me tell you, learn from my mistakes is that, it's never what they tell you it's what they don't tell you, right? It's the things that they don't tell you that you really have to pick up on, right? It's the same with the real estate. It's the same with everything in life. It's what they don't tell you that is the key. They'll tell you every positive thing about the program, but when there's potential downsides to it, they won't tell you those. No company, no opportunity, nothing will tell you the downside of those. And I have done a whole lot. I'm on the precipice. I really believe this. I'm on the precipice of being successful because I know going into things, because I've failed in so many ways, um, I learned how not to do things. So I instinctively know now, going into situations, that if it's what are they not saying about the opportunity, right? If I'm paying money to join this particular group, what do I get in return? What assurances do I have, right? Is this okay? So let me just do this real quick. I'll just give you a quick example with the insurance. All right, so doing the health insurance, I started with a group in Texas. I was turned on by another person in Tennessee. He's a YouTube personality, and I got involved with this group in Texas. This group in Texas is fine. They're good. They're a bunch of good people. I actually met them. They did a little traveling. They came to my area, but for the most part, this group was centered in the state of Texas, and their lead system is such where they have a lead system, and then they buy leads for you after you have closed so many. So there's a lead system, but to get started is really hard. The training was not all there. The hand holding, the things that a new person would need is not all there. And I felt like I didn't really have much of a support. I really didn't know exactly what I was doing. I was calling some of these leads, and the leads that I was getting, I had purchased, were not working out. So I left that company. It didn't work for me. I went to another company in New York, and it's the same thing. This guy was all flashy, you know. They had really good marketing materials. They had a webinar every week, but they were all over the place. They're doing everything. They're doing annuities. They're doing seminars. They're doing this and that, and they say this is the thing. This was the hook that got me into this company, was that they said, we give you free leads. We give you free leads. You join our company, you join our team, you contract with us, we're going to give you free leads, right? Okay. Wow, free leads. Because the last company, leads are expensive. Leads can be $30, $40 a piece for a good lead. And even then, you don't have, that's another story for another time. You get a $30, $40 lead, and these are senior citizens. They fill out a form, and then they promptly forget about it the next day. And, they're upset that you called them, and you're following up on the request that they made. That's what's crazy about it. But, so this company, say, okay, you don't have to pay for leads. We give you free leads. This is what they said. So, the problem with that is they do give you free leads, but they only give you like 30 at a time. And these are age leads. These are leads that have already been worked over. They've been picked over. And, the vast majority of them are not contactable. They're like, maybe the phones are not working. So you cycle through this list. You call these people a couple of times. You're maybe out of a list of, they only give you like 30 at a time. And it's like, wow. And they said, well, you can always ask for more later. So you ask for them. Sometimes the email is ignored. Really, sometimes the email is ignored, and then when they do get in contact, they give you another batch of 30. And these leads are not good. They're low quality. They're they're not good leads. So that was not working out for me. And then they were like trying to have me do everything, like do seminars and then set up a booth in a drugstore, and it just wasn't working out. So then I went to another company, another YouTube personality, and this another YouTube personality, something with millionaire. I don't want to dime him out, but I'm just like, he's a good guy. He's just a good salesperson. His thing was like he had like a auto dialer that would dial numbers. But here's the problem with that, is that they were getting the information from public records. And I was set to do this. I actually paid money. I paid like a fee to be involved with this company. And then I actually hired a telemarketer. That was part of that fee. So it was like $1,000. And then I just had a change of heart, because I'm like, well, what about the telecommunication laws? What about Florida, state that I live in, has very tough laws when it comes to telecommunications. And he's like, oh, everybody's doing that, and if you don't do this, your competition will be contacting them. And I gave that a really good think about and said, you know what, if it's something that's going to break the law, right, or run afoul of the law or go outside the lines, it's not something that I want to be personally a part of. You know, it's not something that I want to do. So I at the last minute said, no, I'm not doing this. So much to their surprise, and losing $1,000, I did that. And then I went to another company, and this one was a more veteran-centric company. But again, it's the same situation with the lead quality. I mean, it was, we give you all these leads, but these leads are worked over like crazy. They're not exclusive. They're not inbound. They're worked over, and you know, this was more like selling final expense. But they also had a Medicare program, but they only paid like $50. It just wasn't working out. You know, it wasn't. It's like, well, not $50, but it was that you get a one-time fee for Medicare, which is not heard of in the industry. You don't pay for the leads, but you don't get any renewals. The whole idea with the Medicare system is, unless you're getting a really good upfront commission, you know, the whole purpose of doing Medicare is like the commission versus final expense. Medicare gives you a smaller amount commission than final expense. But then you have that client, you potentially have that client for the rest of their life if you do your job right. So you could work for 10 years and build yourself up an income where after that 10 years you're done. You don't have to work anymore. You can ride it out. And all these baby boomers that are retiring right now, you know, you could do really well if you're in a good company, good FMO. So that didn't work out. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 4 different opportunities, 4 different companies. And every time I made a change to these different companies, you know, it's a lot of admin work, and with the carriers and all that, it's a nightmare. It's a literal nightmare to change, and it's impossible to change during open enrollment season. So, word to the wise, what questions do you ask? From my experience from these 4 different companies, right? What questions would I ask? The first question that I would ask is, okay, so why should I join your team? What makes your team special over other teams? The lead sources, right? Where are people getting the leads? How many leads do I get at a single time, right? How are these leads generated? Where do these leads come from, right? Are these leads worked over? I mean, am I getting the first crack at these leads, or have they been worked over before, right? You can even tell them. I have a friend that you know, said that his company promised leads, but they only gave him 30 at a time, and these leads, lack of a better word, they sucked, right? How do I know that this is a situation? Because let me tell you something, it's not as easy as just joining a team, right? You're contracting with them, you're signing a contract, and it's hard to get out of that contract. Just even the logistical situations. There was one company that I was interested in getting involved with, and you know, I could not join this particular company because again, it's open enrollment. But one thing the man had said that what his company had done, what the 4 companies that I had gotten involved with did not, was that he would sign like a release immediately, so that I could immediately, if it wasn't working out, I could immediately I immediately had a release document in my hand, so that I was not like bound to this company. You as the agent have to have some kind of assurances that you're going to be happy at this company. You've got to ask them really tough questions. These might be really nice people, but you've got to like peg them down. Or like, okay, where do these leads come from? Am I paying for these leads, right? What, you know, how are they generated? I mean, are you compliant with the laws, right? If I'm doing these, if you're telling me, if your strategy is for me to call, what mechanisms am I calling? What CRM am I using? What kind of enrollment platform am I using? You know, does it meet all of the telecommunication laws from all of the different states, right? My recommendation would be, now that I've been through all of them, is to get something where there was one that I was interested in and I'm currently interested in that what they do is the way they generate leads for their agents is they do a mailer for each agent in that person's area. They do a mail, they go out and they send a mass mailing, direct mail. That's the best way to generate leads. It's also the most expensive. But they do a mailer, and you know, they expect you to close a certain percentage of them, which it should be easy. You know, they're doing the mailer, they have a lot of experience doing this, and as long as you're meeting that minimum threshold, they keep doing the mailers for you. That actually makes a lot of sense. That seems like it's a pretty good plan, and especially for somebody getting started, they may not have a whole lot of money. That's a very good investment in a new agent, where they're going to go out and they're going to do a mailing for that particular person. The other company, the one that I just interviewed, is not Medicare. It's ACA, but they're more of an inbound call center where they do the advertising and you're getting inbound calls. So they're doing the advertising and they're generating the leads, and the leads are responding, and you as the agent are in receive mode. Now, you get the commission, you get a nice commission for enrolling them, but they own the book of business. I think that's fine. I believe that's fine. But you know, because it's a trade-off. It really is a trade-off. They're doing all of that. They're doing all of that work, and ACA is a different type of market. So ACA won't stay. You know, ACA will change a lot. So I think that's fair. If it was Medicare, it'd be a different story. Medicare, I really believe you want to own your renewals, right? You want to be in business for yourself. If you're, you know, that's what I'm saying. And you got to ask them about how these leads are generated, where do they come from, have they been worked for, are they exclusive, have they been worked over, and then if they hem and they haw, don't go with that company, right? If you can't nail down that answer, it's a very specific question that has a very specific answer that is required. And if they can't answer it or they won't answer it, then that's not the company that you want to be involved with, right? It's very, very important that you get that down, because you trust me, I learned this the hard way. I spent thousands of dollars, I've squandered thousands and thousands of dollars now on these different insurance companies, and that's my fault, because you know I had you know done it wrong. But I learned a very expensive lesson, and that is you got to ask the right questions, right? You've got to ask the right questions before joining a team. Anything, right? So that's the insurance situation. The way this insurance, so they're working with two principal carriers. One carrier I'm not contracted with, and the other one I am. So I may not be able to be involved with this company. The person who interviewed me said she was going to see if I could do it with just the one. I don't know if that's going to work. I hope so, because I actually would like to make some money this fall. You know, we're going into the holidays. It would be nice to have that, because this is a very busy time. It's terrible when you're an insurance agent, when you're a licensed insurance agent, and you can't write. You can't write anything. You're dead in the water, and everybody else is like, this is the season for making money. Some people only work during open season, and they make 5-6 figures in open season, and I can't work my license because it's the blackout period. So we're going to see if that pans out. I'm optimistic, but I'm not like 100% sure that's going to work. Then I had Century 21 training. This is the last week of Century 21 training. I have one more Century 21 training on Friday. The training is good. Let me just say that it's not over. It's not, like I'm not overly impressed, but it's okay. It's more about mindset. It's more about building networks. I needed something more, so I still need to like give this a chance. Maybe it's just me. It's like I want to go out and I want to make money immediately with what I know. With the licenses that I have, I want to go out and do things. Chasing down FSBOs and expired listings. An expired listing is a house that hasn't sold in 6 months. So obviously there's an issue with it. So if I approach a seller, this is just a question I'm thinking out loud. If I approach a seller and I'm saying, hey, Mr. Seller, you haven't sold your home with your RE/MAX agent. Come and join us, and we'll do better. But I don't know how we make that leap. How do we say we're going to be different than your previous agent, right? Because if a dud is a dud. If your home is, especially here in Florida where the market has been just recently been red hot. If your home hasn't sold for the price that you're trying to sell it for, that you need to sell it for, something wrong, right? So how am I going to do something different? So there's a lot of people who go through and they call up all the expired listings, and then the FSBOs, the for sale by owners. Maybe you can get some traction with that, but that's a very small pond. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but just like the training that I had is like, hey, why don't you go to the local bakery? This is exactly what the guy was saying. Go to the local, like on the first day, go to the local bakery, order a chocolate eclair, and hand them the business card and say, how are you? And let them know that you're in real estate. Let everybody that you're in real estate. It makes sense, but it's going to take a long time, right? It's going, I don't think it's as easy as what. I think there's other ways, and I don't know those other ways, so I'm still learning that. So, like I said, I'm on the precipice for being successful. I want to be with the right companies. I want to be with the right teams. I think the team is really important. The company is really important. And even though the people may be very nice, like all the insurance companies, for example, all the people were really wonderful people. It's just that their systems were not good. Their systems did not work for me. It worked for other people. Some people were making 5-6 figures, had 5-figure months. That's, $10,000, $20,000 months. It didn't happen for me. Now I was able to do, generate in sales, not in profit, but in sales, several $1 million on Amazon, before I had one of my accounts limited. That's another story for another day. But I was able to do that, and not everybody could do that. So I'm trying to find my groove when it comes to sales. I'm committed to finding my groove when it comes to sales. It's an arduous, sometimes it's a frustrating process, but I'm working diligently to find my groove. So after the Century 21 training, I did a little Remote Wellness Academy work. I'm really excited about the Remote Wellness Academy. It has a lot of promise. It's a very intense program. Not only would I be helping people with their transformations, I'm currently undergoing my own transformation. So, I do these different things with the hope that one of these things will make the other things that I do moot. So if I'm a great real estate agent, then I don't need to be an insurance agent. Maybe they can work in tandem. Maybe I can get them, like if I'm talking to somebody about real estate and I happen to notice that they don't have mortgage protection or they don't have a plan, to pay off the home if one of them dies, then and the same with insurance. If I'm selling somebody some insurance, and I hear that they may be interested in selling your home, I can be that person. I can do multiple things. I can do multiple plans. People have told me, I should stick with one. I'm listening to that. Which is that, I'm also thinking that, you know, I need to have some flexibility because sometimes the one thing is not the correct thing. You get involved with one of these companies, like I said, one of those insurance companies, and it doesn't work, and it's like you don't have any other backup plan. So the Remote Wellness Academy takes time to get it launched, to get it off the ground. So you have to go through your own transformations and have some success with the program that you're going to be teaching. And it's extremely intense and it takes time. They say it's not get rich quick, but it's get rich for sure. That's what they say. I believe it. Um, and I'm impressed with what I see so far, and the program that I paid for is not cheap. So I'm committed to that process. So I am doing that every day. I'm doing a little Remote Wellness Academy. In the evening, had a business opportunity webinar. This is something that I had seen before. I jumped on this because the person that I coach with, Jeffrey Combs, this is a contact of Jeffrey Combs. He's doing something involving business credit. I'm interested in that, but I'm not interested at this time in doing that. I can't do everything all right now. I liked a lot of the content that he was saying. It echoes, the vernacular that he uses is like he's channeling my coach. So a lot of the mindset is correct. A lot of the good habits and the consistency is all correct. But I attended the webinar. But I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to move forward with that opportunity at this time. If it's offered in the future, I may be in the market. But right now, as I said, I can't do everything. But I still got a benefit from going and being on the webinar. And that was basically it. So that's a long one today, 5 October. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you and have a great day.